Alright, so I came back from watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I'm wearing my Spider-Man hoodie. After when this review is over, I'll be doing some updating the end. So let's talk about let's talk about I'll be doing a review of the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man anime. And now this version of the Spider-Man movie is very animated, very different looking version of Spider-Man, but it does have. And the thing, I gotta say, this movie does much better than it was better than the Venom movie. To be honest with you, hands down. Mostly because even though the animation is very somewhat questionable. But here's the thing: at least the movie is good on its own. The thing is, it doesn't rely. The thing is, it doesn't rely on the connections. It's on its own universe, which I think is a good thing, which I think is a decent thing. One of the things I like about the movie is actually the interesting thing about the animation. It's like it's like you're reading a comic book or playing it's like you're it's like you're reading a comic book in real life in your mind. The problem with live action movies, they actually rely on CGI too much, like superhero movies, other movies. There's a lot of movies that went full on CGI on action movies and all the other stuff. In this movie, this is actually pretty unique on its own. The storyline is kind of similar to the Miles Morales from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, but this one is very different. This one is very different. The setting was pretty good. I mean, the color of it was pretty strong. I mean, there's some things I feel there are parts that I kind of feel like it's cringy in my ears. That I feel kind of a bit embarrassing. There's a lot of weird moments in the there's a lot of weird moments in there, but I want to say the actors, Shamik Moore, I thought he voiced as Miles Morales. I thought he did a pretty good job playing as Miles Morales. Jake Johnson, who played as Peter Benjamin Parker. Haley Steinfeld, who played as Gwen Stacy. Marshall Ali, who played as Uncle Aaron. You might know who Marshala Ali. He actually played as Cottonmouth as from Luke Cage. And I thought, I, and there's other voice actors, Nicolas Cage, who played as Spider-Man Noir. You guys might have known him from the other movies, like the worst movie ever, the Ghost Rider, the Ghost Rider movie, I thought it was horrible. There's Kimiko Glenn, who played as Penny Parker from the other universe. and and there's another actor who played as I'm trying to think very carefully. I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of actors who played as. I try to forget other names, but I remember. I mean, they're very good on its own. I thought they've done a pretty good job. I mean, the villains are actually pretty much from what you see, and there's some unique villains like the Prowler and the Doc Ock, which is a gender swap version. Remember, this is a different universe. This is not like the 616 universe. Here's. Remember, this movie's actually based. This movie's actually based off on the Ultimate Comics. From the time where Peter Parker died. On the comics, a little spoiler alert. He died at a very younger age, around like 15 to 16-year-old. In the comics, so there's a you know for the most part there it's really good. I'm trying to explain everything from start to finish. I try to speed through a little. There's a lot of stuff I was trying to say. There's a lot of good moments I enjoy, a lot of weird moments, a lot of very odd moments though. For the most part, I thought the movie's really good, and I thought I thought the action was pretty unique on its own. I thought the storyline was actually is good on its own, but it's kind of the way it is though. So it's actually really interesting on a different perspective. At least it focused on a good movie rather than pushing whatever pushing some whatever, you know. So and yeah, for the most part, I thought Shamik Moore did a really good job playing as Miles Morales, more on the kid side. Jake Johnson, who played as a different version of Peter Parker, I thought he played more like a 25 or 22-year-old Peter Parker. You know, just like in the Spider-Man game, in the Gameverse. There. Remember, this version of Spider-Man is very different. Is really really different, but a lot more older. It came from a different universe. And remember, this is a movie on its own. This isn't like a whatever. This isn't like a whatever. I read. You've been reading the Spider-Man. You've been reading the Spider-Man comics that more like the Spider-Verse series. The whole thing's very confusing though. I'm not gonna go into full detail though. So yeah, like I said, I thought the setting was good. The action sequence was actually unique, with the flips, and you see you see all different versions of Spider-Man flipping around. The characters' interaction were very wise and unique. I really liked the interactions with Peter Parker and Miles Morales. I actually like that. The chemistry was very strong. Was very for it's what it is. So I'm gonna get into spoilers in the next couple of seconds. So yeah, overall I enjoy this movie for what it is. I thought there's some things I do like, there's some things I don't like though. So yeah, for the most part, it felt very different from other Spider-Mans like Homecoming, the original Spider-Man movies though. So yeah, I thought if you're one of those people, even if you're one of those people who actually want to watch a good movie, this might be for you. Or even though you hate Sony as a company who made shit movies, at least you'll give this one a chance, because this one will make you change your mind. Okay, now on to the spoilers though. So if you don't want to watch this clip of me spoiling the movie, I wouldn't watch it though. So yeah, so you got like 5 seconds though. So you see my hands right here? I'll be doing it right now. Alright, on to spoilers. Okay, so for the most part, I wanna jump around, speed through a little, around like a few minutes. I don't want to bore you to death all day. So the thing about this, there are a lot of scenes I like. We get to see like Miles Morales. In the intro, we get to see him like he spray paints. He likes to spray paint all around where it all is, like, in the intro of the movie, he's like, a regular kid who's just like, he's moving to another school to get, because it was his dad, mostly because it was his dad trying to tell him that you need to move to a different school. Now, there are a lot of funny moments when, you guys might have seen the trailer, and said, when Officer Davis was like, I love you, son. I love you, son. I love you, son. I wonder what is... Sorry, guys. Sorry, I was just thinking. Sorry about that, guys. And, you guys might have seen the trailer, and then there's some funny moments, Yeah, there's stuff that are pretty weird and pretty cringy, and, And, we get to see a lot of different versions of Spider-Man in a very different perspective. Like, we've seen, I want to skip this through because you guys might have read the comics before. You guys might have read the comics before. I want to move on to different scenes that you guys may be interested. So we get to see other villains like Kingpin, Tombstone, Scorpion, which had one arm, which has one arm but very robotic. We get to see a Doc Ock, which is a very female version, which I don't really care about. I would have preferred Dr. Octavius, but who cares? At least, and we get to see a lot of very, very funny scenes. See a lot of very funny scenes. I would say we also, like I said, we see the Prowler I forgot to say, we get to see the Prowler over there. Sorry, I'm messing up. We get to see the Prowler, Aaron Davis, who's actually Uncle Aaron Davis, who's actually the brother of Jefferson Davis. You know, we get to see different scenes jumping around, toe to toe. We get to see a lot of villains everywhere, but they're only pretty minimal in terms of what it is. Now, in this whole movie was about this was about taking the legacy, Miles taking the legacy of, after the death of Spider-Man. But the difference between this one and this version, Kingpin actually kills Peter Parker. But you know what's really odd about this movie is actually you get to see Peter Parker with a blonde hair. Kind of reminds me of Ben Reilly. You guys remember that? And yeah, and this is the whole movie is about. The whole story with Kingpin, he just wants to. Let me speed this through a little bit. He wants to see his family again from a different universe. He wants his family back. The reason why he wants his family, the reason why he decided to go to use the machine to go through different dimensions, because he wants to see his, like I say, he wants to see his family again, because he was trying to, because in the past, if you see the flashback of Kingpin or Wilson Fisk or Donald J. Fisk, or he's trying to beat the shit out of Spider-Man, and when his wife and his son sees it, she was like, "Oh, how dare you, Wilson? How dare you, Wilson?" And when they're in the car, and you see his son, and they died in a car crash, and Wilson Fisk was like, "Please don't leave me. Please wait. Don't." And and let me speed through a little. There's a lot of action scenes where you can see Miles, where Miles is trying to beat the shit out of Kingpin, and Kingpin trying to beat the shit out of him. But the impact is really good. I mean, it feels a bit simple to me. It's my own opinion though. So it has some very it has a very and the actor who plays Wilson Fisk is actually Lee Schreiber. I mean, I'm trying to pronounce his name. Who's actually the same actor who played us, from the Wolverine, the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Which I hate that movie quite a lot. So yeah, for the most part, there's some action, and the final fight is really cool on its own, and it actually has some cool ways to beat the shit out of each other though. So yeah, sorry guys, I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to think. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm trying to stay as short as possible, so I'm very sorry about. Oh, and one of the things I like about this movie is actually Miles is trying to learn how to use his abilities. He can't rely on the two. Sometimes in this movie, he can't rely on he can't rely on people that he's around with. He sometimes need to learn his powers by himself, because every Spider-Man comic book you guys read, or every Spider-Man comic book you guys see from other universes, they have their own character. They can't rely on other people. They sometimes need to learn how to use their powers by themselves. They need to learn how to control it on its own. And this version of Spider-Man is very different. It's not like a clone of Peter Parker. It has some very unique moments on its own. But the thing is, for the most part, it's really good. I don't want to get too spoiler on this. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I don't want I don't want to be too much on this. I don't want to bore you all to death. And for the most part, the whole impact was really good though. I don't want to spoil too much of the big stuff, but also I forgot the other characters, who played as other. Also, I remember right now, there's some other characters like Spider-Ham, who was voiced by John Mulaney. Mulaney. So, who's actually played as Spider-Ham or Peter Parker. You know, he's actually used to have the humor. The thing funny about it is actually like, you know, like what did she say? He's like, he does have some action. He can fight for sure, which is good, which I think is pretty surprising on its own. And yeah, it just like, and yeah, and the whole movie does what it should have been done on a Venom movie, but you know, sorry guys. And pretty sure, yeah. And for the most part, I really do enjoy for how it's impacted pretty well. And for the most part, you know, for the most part, you know, that's all I'm gonna have to say for the spoilers. I don't want to say too much. And what is this movie? What is this ratings for this movie? I give it like a, I give to me, in my opinion, I give it like a more like 7.9 out of 10 because it does have, yes, it is a Sony movie, but the thing is, it does have it, but it does feel like it's its own thing. It's not way connected to the MCU or whatever. So yeah, and for the most part, I really think it served pretty well. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna have to say today. Also, you know, also, I'll be doing more videos like this very soon in the near future. You know, and what am I? Sorry, guys. And you know, and tomorrow there's gonna be some big stuff. Tomorrow I'll be doing some. I'll be bringing some. My package is about to come in tomorrow, though, if it's coming though. So yeah. Also, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments below. You can subscribe this channel. You can subscribe this channel. You can make sure to comment below. You can share this video if you want. So, I really hope you guys enjoy the video. I know this video is not really the best thing I've put out, but I hope it will be better than past versions. And I promise I won't make any more stupid things what I say. I mean, and maybe in the future I might make better content for you guys if you hate this rant thing that I've talked about in my life or whatever. Yeah, I understand. You guys care about just watching the video. So, yeah, I completely understand the comment section below on the video I made a couple of days ago. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys see the movie. Let me know what you guys think about it. Did you guys love it or did you hate it? You know. Also, one last thing, one last spoiler. At least we get to see a Stan Lee cameo. I'm really happy that they had a Stan Lee cameo, because without a Stan Lee cameo, we wouldn't have this movie though. So yeah, oh yeah, rest in peace to you, Stan Lee. So yeah, oh yeah, and one more thing. Wait till the credits. You'll see a tribute to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko though. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I might do more of this in the near future. And I'll see you guys in the next video, so peace the fuck out.